What is happening, guys? I'm N64Josh, and this daily vlog is going to be about breaking into YouTube. So I want to start this up by saying, look, I have like just under 2,000 subs. I'm not going into this saying I am an absolute expert, but there are some things that I do understand that I know will help you. So I'm going to share that information with you. I'm in the process of grinding this out myself, so it's not like I haven't got there yet. But I know if I continue doing the things that I'm doing, it's going to get there eventually, right? It just takes time. It takes time. Sometimes there's a little bit of luck involved, but for the most part, it's just going to be hard work, patience, and persistence, right? You gotta just keep going. Just keep going. So with that being said, I am recording this live on twitch.tv/N64Josh. And I do this before I start my stream, and I bring this up because this is the first thing I want to recommend you do. If you're a Twitch streamer, and I got a question in the comment section of the last video that went up, kind of asking what's some advice about getting into YouTube. And so one of the things I started doing, since my main focus has been Twitch, and then podcasting, and then YouTube, and then a blog, right? Those are the four main areas where like my cornerstone content will go, right? And then social is going to be bite-sized content, and I talked about that in the last video, how it's like just trying to add value, right? Trying to add value. And so the same is going to be true with your YouTube videos, right? How can you add value to the viewers? That's the question to ask. Now, there's multiple ways that this can happen. There's some channels that are just vlogging channels that literally document their life, and that's enough, and people love that, and that's the content they create. And you can see some very, very successful people that have done just that. They just document their journey, and it allows people to get to know them. They feel like there's a connection there. You know, maybe they've gone through some hard things, you know, whatever the case is, there's been some kind of connection. The most important thing to remember about your content, period, everywhere, whether it's social, YouTube, Twitch, whatever, and it's one of the hardest things I think to do, is to find your voice. Okay, find your voice. Be yourself, right? Don't try to be somebody else. Don't look at what somebody else has done and emulate it. You can be inspired by it. You can try to do it better, but don't be somebody else. And I know that's probably something that you've heard many times before, but it's something to really evaluate yourself and find out, like, okay, what is my voice? And am I just emulating somebody else? So if you can, you know, and it comes with time. Look, I've been doing this for 6 years. I started with photography, like doing a blog, doing podcasts, doing YouTube. I moved into doing, like, I had N64Gaming.com. Don't go to that site. I'm pretty sure it's got malware all over it. And I ended up having a podcast where I interviewed indie devs on the N64 Gaming podcast. It didn't even make any sense, right? It was terrible branding. I got impatient and couldn't figure out a good name for stuff and just went for it, right? And so it kind of bit me a little bit, but I got my name out of it, N64Josh. So there you go. I eventually have got it all worked out. It all just takes time. It just takes time, and you want to add value. I can't say that enough. And so, you know, whether you're able to teach something, whether you're able to, you know, maybe review a game, because a lot of this stuff's going to be gaming focused, right? And so, you know, whether it's reviewing games, doing previews of games, doing walkthroughs, doing guides, that kind of stuff, all that stuff's going to add value to the people that are going to be consuming it. All that stuff does take work, right? And so one of the things I know that YouTube's algorithm likes daily content, right? And sometimes I don't get my daily videos up. I try. That's why I do these things before I start streaming. It allows me to get a video up daily, and it doesn't cut into my stream time. I'm doing this live, and I will upload this exactly as it is right to YouTube. I don't edit it. I just put it right on YouTube, make a quick thumbnail for it, and it's up, and there it is. Now, doing these things live like this and just speaking off the cuff, that comes with time, right? You've got to be able to kind of refine your craft and just get better at this, and it does happen. It will happen. But it's not easy at first. You might be saying a lot. You might, kind of be tripping over your words, and that's fine. It just may take you a little more time because you may need to throw it into like iMovie or Windows Movie Maker, or if you have Premiere, whatever you have, and kind of chop stuff up, just clean it up, and then put it out to the world. Now, when you put it out to the world, you want to make sure that whatever your video is about, that you're titling it so that it can be found organically through search on YouTube. So I'm just going to let you guys know exactly how I do this. Okay. For instance, my first looks, I will take the game that I'm looking at, and I will go into YouTube, into the search bar, and I will start typing the name out. And then you know how it autofills, and I will check, and I will see, okay, let's say we're going to do Mortal Kombat 11. I will type Mortal Kombat 11, and then I will look, and if it says, review is first, well, that's I'm not doing a review, I'm doing a first look. So I'm looking for the first name that comes up that will be relevant to my video. So a lot of times what most of my stuff is titled is the name of the game, and then switch, and then first look, right? And then in my tags, I will take the name of the game and switch, and I will put it in there. I'll take the name of the game, put Nintendo Switch, I'll put it in there, so on and so forth. So that, and this is referred to as having a title that is keyword rich, right? Because keywords are the words that people are searching for. So you're essentially using Google's search bar as a way to title your videos keyword rich. Because what's happening as you're typing in the name of the game, it is showing you the games that is the most, it's showing you the name of the game and what is searched for the most, right? And so the keywords that are searched for the most is what you want to make sure that your video is titled as, and then you can look and see how many of those are still accurate to your video that you can then put in the tags. And that's going to help your video be found organically. Now, does that mean YouTube's going to automatically throw it into the algorithm? It does not. It does not. There's no, I don't, and maybe there's ways to hack it and that kind of stuff, but typically you're going to see, that's why you hear YouTubers always say, hey, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment, right? That's part of the factor of getting your video in front of more people. When YouTube sees there's engagement, there's likes, there's comments, they're going, this video is being well received. We're going to put it in front of more people. And it's kind of a snowball effect. When you have a video that's sitting there with no comments, no likes, you're going to have a much harder time getting into the algorithm. So here's a few things I've done. I have a few videos that have reached 60,000, 50,000 views, okay? And the one video in particular actually got me an interview with Xbox. And so when I moved into my current office here, I hooked up my Xbox and I got this message. It said, your DNS servers cannot resolve Xbox Live names. Okay, that's what it said. I went, okay, well, let's see how to fix this. And I got on Google and there was nothing. I wasn't seeing anything. And so after about 45 minutes of searching, deep in a forum, I found somebody that said, hey, use the Google DNS, which is 8.8.8.8, so on and so forth. I put that in, my Xbox was fixed. I immediately fired up my capture card and made a video walking through how I fixed this problem. And then I titled it, your DNS server cannot resolve Xbox Live names, right? Exactly what the error code was. The next day, that video ranked #1 on Google for that issue. And then I decided, well, you know what? I'm going to write a blog post too. So that pushes people to the lootcave.com, my old website. It's still there. You can check it out. And And so that also ranks very high. Well, then what happened is Microsoft's support team started Googling when people were calling in, and then they started using my video as a way to help their customers that were having the same problem. And so this video has like, I get comments, no joke, probably 5 days a week. I get comments, either people saying, yes, it worked, or no, it didn't. Okay. The point is that I titled that video exactly what the error code was so that it would rank as soon as people typed it in. When I typed it in and it did not show up, I knew there was an opportunity there to get the video to rank. Okay. Now let's talk about my current channel. I have, I think Skies of Fury review. I think it has over 10,000 views. Guys, I'll be honest with you. Most of my videos are getting, they're growing. They're now getting between like 50 and 100 views, but even just a few weeks ago, before I was really putting more time into YouTube, I was getting like 20 or 30 views, right? So, I mean, percentage-wise, things are definitely growing for me, but I have a handful of videos that end up getting thrown into the algorithm because maybe not many people reviewed Skies of Fury, and so my review, it really took off. It took off relatively quick, and I had a lot of interaction with people asking about the game, you know, wanting to know about the online, that kind of stuff, or the lack thereof. And so because it was a game that wasn't picked up by a lot of major outlets, that allowed me to get my name out there a little bit more, probably get some subscribers and things like that. So that's one thing you can do if you're trying to break in. Maybe don't go for the big titles that everybody's picking up. Pick up some of these more obscure titles. The Switch has so many obscure titles that you can review, and a lot of times reviewing is the best way to get the views. So make sure that you're, you know, I've recently started doing reviews again because I really struggled with making sure I could put out the best reviews possible. And so if you do that, you put out the quality content, you get the likes, your videos are going to, they're going to rank. Okay. And that's, I mean, hopefully there may be some people that tell you, oh, you can do this. I don't know that stuff. I'm just telling you what I've done, what has kind of worked. And I just grind. That's it. I grind. Make sure you have good thumbnails. Okay. You can even name your thumbnail the same as the title of your video so that if somebody is just Googling if they're Googling a certain thing, let's say they're Googling Mortal Kombat 11. We're just going to use Mortal Kombat. It's the new game. Okay. So if they're Googling Mortal Kombat 11 and your video is titled Mortal Kombat 11 Switch review, Switch first look, whatever, but they need an image. They're going to, you know, maybe, who knows, they're going to add an image to their blog post, or they want to throw something up on Twitter, whatever the case may be. If your image is titled the same as your video, and it has, and so when I'm saying your image being titled, I'm talking about the file name itself. Okay, I'm talking about like what you name the file. That can even get picked up by Google, so that if somebody happens to click that photo, it's going to take them right to your YouTube video. That's another way for you to get more organic traffic. Okay, you can even type the file name, change the file name of your video itself to just add one more layer of having everything in the same keywords. Right. And this is something I have learned. It's not something I put into practice because my file names are created by OBS and I just upload them. But it's another step you can take to add an extra layer of having your video be keyword rich. So the other thing is tags. When you're doing your tags, it's tags. The easiest way to explain them is it's just alternate ways of titling your video that people might search, right? So I always assume when people get online, they are going to search the laziest way possible. So that is how I'll try to title my videos. For instance, it's, you know, Mortal Kombat 11 Switch. It's the title of the game. you know it's the Nintendo Switch, but most people aren't typing Nintendo. They're just typing Switch, and then it's going to be review or first look or whatever it is. Okay, you can almost always assume that people are going to be as lazy as possible when Googling. I know I am. I want to get to my information as quickly as possible with as few words as possible. And think about your own habits, right? So if your own habits are similar, then that's how you're going to want to title stuff so that it can be easily found. Even this isn't a YouTube video, but my Mario Kart 8 guide, for some reason, Google put it in the front, on the front page of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tips. That I've had over 2,500 hits because of that very thing. And then I don't know what happened. It now, if you do Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tips and tricks, I think it's on page 2, and then on tips, Google wiped it out, and I don't know why. I haven't checked it in a couple days, but even being on page 2, it's gone. It's gone. And even being in the number 2 spot on page 1 takes it down quite a bit. The amount of traffic you'll get. So you want to do, like I've said, high quality thumbnails, get your keywords in there, and then put out quality content, right? Don't mail this in. There's kind of a strange thing that happens. I've noticed that channels that get really big, or even possibly, like, I see this with Twitch streamers a lot. They have a huge following on Twitch, and then they go and do YouTube, but they kind of just do it lazy, right? Like, there might just be gameplay with them talking over it, and there's not really any reason to them be talking. It feels like they're just mailing it in, right? And then what can be frustrating is then it has thousands of views, all kinds of thumbs up, and you're kind of just like, this isn't even like quality content, right? But because people love that creator, they almost get a pass. The creator kind of gets a pass, if you understand what I'm saying. Well, I would say always be at the top of your game. Always be at the top of your game. Put out the best content that you can. How can you give somebody like an aha moment, or how can you teach them something, maybe about the history of, whatever game you're talking about, or just those little nuggets, those little things that they're like, oh, I need to share this, right? I need to share this. And that's the most important thing about YouTube, is that the thing that makes it, in my mind, a little bit better than Twitch is the fact that it's shareable content. It's content that people can easily send it. They can text it. They can share it on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. That kind of, not Instagram quite as easy because you can't share links. But even Snapchat, that kind of stuff. That's one of the beauties of YouTube, is the ability to make shareable content. And so you want that to be in, keep that in the back of your mind. Like, is this content I'm creating, is it shareable? Is it something that people are going to want to share with their, friends and whatever? And we'll wrap up with this, but when it comes to shareable content, the thing to think about is just think about the stuff you want to share. Okay, the things that you want to share, you want to be able to show your friends, or your online friends or whatever. You want to be the first to show them something cool, right? So like, the moment Nintendo tweeted out about Mario Maker coming out on the 28th, like, I immediately saw people post in the Discord that was going to be available, right? And that's cool. Being the first in line to get information to people. So create videos that people are going to want to share with others, and that gives you the chance of going viral, right? And the power of something going viral, like, your life can change completely. I was just listening to, I mentioned him in the last video, like Gary Vaynerchuk. I was listening to him talk about, you guys remember the woman that had the Chewbacca mask that she put on? And then she laughed. She just went live on Facebook, just laughed, thought it was hilarious. Do you guys know she has a 3-book deal with a publisher, and she speaks all over the place, getting paid really good money for a single video of just her laughing? But the most important factor of that whole thing is that she was herself. She went live for her friends, and her personality and what came through gave her an incredible reach that now, like, I mean, her life was changed forever over a 1 minute long laugh attack with a Chewbacca mask on. I mean, this blew my mind. I think, where did I hear about? I was reading Gary's book, Crushing It, I believe. That's where I was listening to it, and Kenner made a custom Star Wars figure of her with a Chewbacca mask, right? And I remember when this whole thing went down, Kohl's, that's where she got the video. Kohl's, like, I don't know exactly what they did, but I think they probably paid for some college for her kids, you know, because it was great advertising for them. So that's the thing. You have no clue what can go viral or anything. And if you're putting out the best possible content you can, that's speaking, you know, your truth with your voice, that's adding value to people, that's the potential. That gives you the potential to be shared a lot and to possibly go viral, right? And that's it. That's it. So it's a grind. Be patient. Be ready to put in. You know how many videos I have on my YouTube? I'm probably sitting at around, I know I'm over 6. I'm probably close to 800 videos, right? And none of them have really popped off yet. And maybe they will. I'm always trying to improve my game. I'm always trying to, you know, be better about the content I put out. And we'll just wait and see. But I know if I'm patient and I just keep going, that it's going to succeed. And it's no different for you, but you just have to put the time in. You have to put the work in, and you can't put too much pressure on it. I've talked about it in other videos. You can't put too much pressure on this to be like, I need this to make me money now. No, if you need to make money now, you've got to find an alternative, because if this is your passion, you need to let that passion come through and let your love of the game come through the process, right? Not the focus on trying to make money, because it doesn't happen quick. It doesn't happen quick. It's very slow. Let you guys know, my YouTube channel today is now, I can now monetize it. I can now run ads on my YouTube channel, and it's taken me a long time. I got the email today. So you probably saw an ad before this video came out. So that's exciting. That's exciting. But that's exciting, but still getting 50 to 100 views, it's not going to equal much monetary gain, right? But that's fine. It's all just part of the process. And you got to celebrate. I see chat is all hyped right now. Got to just celebrate those moments. And absolutely, I was pumped. I was like, sweet, let's go, you know, and we'll keep on going. So I do want to give a quick shout out, Mr. Bungle. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the 101 bits. You are currently the or you're number 2, I guess. We had I forgot about the big one yesterday. So, but you're number 2. So thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. That's going to do it for this video, guys. If you liked it, hit that like button, right? Leave a comment, share this. If you know of other content creators that could use this information, then please share it with them. If you got questions, let me know in the comments. And one of the things I'll let you guys know, I've been really thinking about, I wasn't sure how to, I've kind of been overthinking it, I think. I'm going to do a live stream here very soon. Stay connected with me on Twitter at N64Josh or my Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. But I'm going to be doing a live stream Q&A, just talking content creation, right? Because I create a lot of content. Am I self-employed by my content? No. Do I look at myself as a major success? No. But I understand how much work it takes. I know how much content I put out, and I know that I can help people that are in a similar situation. And so we're going to be it'll be a live Q&A on my Twitch stream, just taking questions about content creation, so that hopefully Because here's what I can tell you. I have helped a number of people who have gone on to be far more successful than I am. Like, I'm like, wow, they just literally put to action doing the same things I'm doing, but they just had other opportunities show up for them, you know? And it gets me stoked. It gets me stoked because I know if I just stick with it, the opportunities will arise. And the same is for you. Okay. So chat says when the student surpasses the teacher. No, the thing is, I celebrate that because I know how I'm going to feel when it finally happens. Right. So I celebrate their victories with them. Because the other thing is, you never know when somebody that you help really blows up and then they're like, oh, hey, by the way, make sure you go see this guy. Right. And then boom, life has changed. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And like I said, you got questions, comments, whatever, leave them below. We'll see you in the next one. Bye now.